Hi guys, welcome to another edition of the General Jerry channel. Guys, I'm joined by Wrestling Jesus. WJ, how's it going?
It's going good, Jer. Just
Oh,
having a good time, about to talk wrestling there. I see Charles, the Ringmaster Ringy, and Ringmaster Mike, Jer. The two Ringmasters.
The ultimate duo right there, like.
You got Miel in there. Nothing new with these indie guys, unfortunately.
Absolutely. We're going to go through this Raw review, but before we do, first and foremost, I want to give a shout out to a guy called Steve. He's been asking me to do a shout out. He's one of my former managers there, WJ, and I'm not talking about wrestling managers, real manager there. So he wants a wee shout out there. Steve is an amazing guy. Probably a beard from the gods, WJ. The type there with beard of the gods there.
Yes.
And I need to give him a shout out there. Anyone in his team right now, just ask him about 100 minutes of annual leave and it'll be great. So moving on now. Yeah, the annual leave going, WJ. You know what I'm talking about, the annual leave. I live for it, WJ. I live for it. Annual leave. Well, I wonder why they didn't chant annual leave here, WJ, and on Raw tonight. They were chanting Rat for whatever reason. He's not on the show, people. But
these are people, Jared. They pay hundreds of dollars to go watch the show so they could try to stick it to McMahon or whatever. Right? They're changing the game there. They'll try to yell AEW or CM Punk. Meanwhile, they just help McMahon make another $1 million, Jerry. Show me the money.
Here comes the money. Here comes the money. It's like, I really...
Edgy people, Jerry.
Edgelords there, WJ. But I just want to say, like, straight off the bat, we're going to talk about this Wyatt thing because it kind of annoyed me a bit. I'm sick, sore, and tired of these people, like, crying about NXT. Like, we all know the types, crying about NXT and these people getting fired and stuff. And yes, it's bad for people. And we addressed this in our last video. But the fact is that who fucking cares? I'm sorry to kind of be a Debbie Downer, but it's like, you people are going to forget them in about 2 or 3 days. So I don't know what this cringe is all about. And these people pretend that they actually care about this talent being released. And then you shall just move on to something else. But before we get into that, WJ, his YouTube channel is in the description below. So subscribe today to WJ there. I heard you're doing this new series there, 5 Reasons, WJ.
All I did was pretty much just a throwaway video, Jer. I did 5 problems with WWE there. And then today I did a positive Raw review, Jer. I buried him yesterday, and then I enjoyed the show, Jer. It always happens like this, Jer. This is an unbiased era, Jerry. I mean, if I like WWE, I like it. If I like AEW, I'll say that I like it, Jerry. It's going to be hard there, but an unbiased era, Jerry.
I agree, unbiased, because that's the problem with the community. There's too much biasry going on. Too many people throwing their agenda, WJ. Too much agenda.
Yes, the Dave Meltzer agenda, Jerry.
And that's why you need to subscribe to General Jerry and the Wrestling Jesus. We're not biased. We call it like it is, man. We're like Limp Bizkit. We keep it real, dog. Keep rolling, 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 rolling. Keep rolling. You know what I'm saying? Keep it rolling.
I enjoyed Randy Orton and Riddle. Riddle, I thought he had command of the crowd, Jer. Had the crowd in the palm of his hands there. They were cheering for him. Well, they were cheering for Randy there, but like Riddle was Making them cheer, Jer. Fuck. Motionless Zombie, the wrestling juggernauts in the house, folks. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. The live shows are back, ladies and gentlemen. Not old school live shows where we'd have like 8 people with us, and most of them were boring jobbers who had nothing to contribute. I come up with a good idea, Jer, and then I have to wait for 3 fucking people to voice their opinion first, and then by the time you want to say the good thing, it's past. Let's say, boring guy, 98. What'd you think of the match? Oh, I thought it was good. Reminded me of SummerSlam '97. Excuse me, boring guy. Your microphone's not working. It's not going to be like this, folks. We're bringing some real live shows to the game, ladies and gentlemen. Subscribe, folks. General Jerry, ladies and gentlemen. The future of the YWC, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes. We're gonna be the top dogs. Speaking of top dogs, we've got Calvin King in the house. The legend himself. That's our man that's not born at all. The pimp himself, as I call him, WJ there. But let's get into this Raw review, shall we? So, skimming through it here, you got Drew McIntyre versus Baron Corbin there. They're doing this thing with Baron Corbin, WJ, and you have to bear in mind, it's the first time I've kind of seen Raw in a long time, but they're doing this homeless gimmick with Baron Corbin there.
He's broke and he's down on his luck.
Down on his luck, girl. What's your thoughts? Do you like it, WJ?
It's a little funny, I guess. I thought he looked a little funny in the match there.
Mm-hmm.
Drew, okay, Corbin, how much money do you need? I need $100,000. So it was a little bit funny there, but it's pretty fucking goofy. You know what I mean?
Yeah. What actually kind of, do you know the funny thing is that Baron Corbin wasn't the most goofy thing. It's Drew McIntyre with a sword. I don't know where this has come from with a sword, like that all Scottish
where can
people...
they go with that? He can't stab anybody with it, so where are they going to go with this? Like Mick Foley brings out the baseball bat with barbed wire, right? And then people pay $50 to see him use it at the pay-per-view, right? Yeah. But he's not going to slice anybody's head off with the sword, let's say.
He stabs Jinder Mahal
at the pay-per-view, just chops off his leg.
I got your name. Her name's Drew. I'm gonna cut your head off. What are they gonna do? They're gonna have a lightsaber match there, WJ.
They can't use it.
Could you imagine like they don't allow cursing but they allow impalement on Raw, like he just stabs him. I bet you at some point they have it where he like stabs someone or they accidentally fall in and they do like his fake blood thing, like they did
the
Rey
theatrical matches. You could use it there.
So he just cuts people's heads off. It'd be so weird, like what the fuck, like from what I heard, it was okay match, like from what I've seen there, it was all right, like kind of start of the match, kind of getting things kicked off. Jeff Hardy versus Cross there, I heard it was actually pretty decent. Apparently this match was a lot better than their first bout. Obviously people were crying like schoolgirls because Cross lost. I can't believe this, Cross lost. And then they kept crying about this. So then eventually they had to give him the victory. Just pretty much, because fans are cringy and stuff like that. And quite frankly, I want Jeff Hardy to kind of actually win a wee bit more. I hope they do something with him because he's really the only attraction really in the mid-card, Jeff Hardy. You know what I mean? I think he's actually so underrated now. And I think he's actually someone that's marketable. I think, you know, if they try and do something with him, in fact, I know, unfortunately, I know Roman Reigns, he's in SmackDown. Maybe they could try and do something where maybe push Jeff Hardy a bit more and maybe try and get him to stay, you know, because I think they need to focus on maybe getting Jeff Hardy to stay a bit rather than just, you know, I
Is
really
he gonna
don't want
end
Jeff
up in AEW? You
I
think?
really hope not. I think he will, but I think he was originally going to go, but then he seen the whole like Matt Hardy, you know, cracking his head off the pavement, if you remember that, and then he re-signed with WWE. So there's this kind of like, you know, what are they going to do, like, you know, with him? But I don't know. It's an all right match for what it was personally. Now I've got a few things to say about this Alexa Bliss dewdrop there. WJ. Dewdrop, she's a big thick girl there, as the kids say, WJ. Thick.
Yeah.
Bit thick. I'll be honest with you, you know, Eva Marie is a goddess, quite frankly, and I think they need to give her the world championship, WJ. That's what I say. They need to give her the world title. I've never seen a girl get so much heel heat in all my life, and these fans can't even tell the difference between heat and non-heat, and people are like, I can't believe Eva Marie's doing this. She's killing people. Like, people are getting on like Eva Marie's killing puppies in the ring, like.
They like some of the wrestlers they had in AEW, that Maki Ito or whatever. Fucking with who came in with the microphone and did some of the worst wrestling I ever seen be done on television. And they were all asking for her to get signed, you know what I mean?
It's like I think the whole Eva Marie here is just beyond cringe for me. It's like, yeah, like is she like, I know what joke about and say she should be WWE champion, right? Because personally I think that would be hilarious. But the other option, like, I get it, she's not really the most talented in the ring. But some of this absolute hate online that I've seen to Eva Marie is just ridiculous. I just think it's not necessary. I don't think it's personally, you know. And some people say Eva Marie's getting go away hate. At this point, I'll take anything. At this point, I'll take anything, because any type of hate, because I think what's happened is that a lot of people, especially with the AEW crowd and this indie crowd, is that they've essentially seen people that get hate, but their faces, and they seem to think that Kenny Omega gets like hate. It's not really hate. It's like, it's more like a show-offy, I'm a heel, but support me, guys. Like, kind of like
he's
weirdo.
like a comedian joker. Fucking, it's like a parody of wrestling. He's not a real heel. Like,
yeah, and the support what Charles was saying. I would take Eva Marie than the Bella Twins, because they legitimately just, well, how they're in the Hall of Fame, I have absolutely no idea, but like, I'd rather take Eva Marie.
I'd take Eva Marie over Mercedes Martinez. Is that what they want? Women who apparently can wrestle, but you never actually see them wrestle because you don't give a fuck. You know what I mean?
Exactly, mate, because it's completely ridiculous to me. Now, this is what we're going to address. We want Wyatt. We want Wyatt. Personally, for me, I think that the fans need to absolutely chill the fuck out with this thing. Anytime a wrestler gets released, we want him back. We want him back, guys. Like, obviously it worked with Samoa Joe. He's in NXT. I don't think they should have gotten rid of Joe, to be honest with you. I think he's better on NXT. You know what I mean? But the whole thing for me is that it's like, it's just too cringy. It's like, you need to obey by us. And I think going into the future, I think fans need to just stop doing that, because it's just making it worse for casual fans. You know what I mean? Like, you can't even be a casual fan watching wrestling anymore without some absolute neckbeard, sweaty bastard going, I want Wyatt! I want Wyatt! Now, apparently the rumor is that apparently the whole story goes that apparently Bray Wyatt didn't actually leave due to mental health reasons or something like that. There's apparently something more to it. It wouldn't surprise me if it's an angle. What do you think, WJ? You think that's a bit of a stretch, or do you think he's legitimately gone?
Well, it's possible they give him money and try to keep him. Yeah.
Yeah.
But if he goes to AEW, that's where he goes. You know what I mean?
Oh. It's like so fucking cringe with this Wyatt chance. Like, and it's like, I get him. Look, he's talented enough, but like the Fiend thing, I didn't particularly like. I thought it was kind of like, I actually preferred the house thing that he did. The Fiend thing with a mask, I thought that was a bit too kind of cheesy. I actually preferred the Wyatt, when he was wearing the Hawaiian shirt. That kind of feud that he had with John Cena, I quite liked. But unfortunately, like WWE did actually mess up with him then. But at the same time,
these are big fat fucking marks, Jer. There, they show up to the events and they film themselves yelling, "We want Wyatt." You know what I mean? It's fake. They don't care. It's about getting themselves over and their AEW bullshit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. It's just it's getting to the point, mate, where it's like, look, hijacking the show and the kind of chance that they did after Raw was kind of good for about 2 days. And I think what happened is that it stopped being about the actual product and actually being selfish within themselves and saying, yo, guys, I'm chanting what everyone else is saying, like this cookie cutter mentality.
Exactly. Look at me. I'm a big fat fucking sheep, just like you. Then they get some likes on Twitter or something.
That's all it is. Like, and these people 9 times out of 10 don't actually believe in what they're saying. They only just say it because they get likes and viewership. Like, that's all it is. It's going into business for themselves. It's just it's ridiculous to me. And like even the beach ball thing, for example, like what Calvin was bringing up as well there. That's a good point. Like the whole beach ball thing. And then people were complaining, oh, they're not allowed beach balls in there. And it's like, yeah, but what if somebody throws it in the ring and stuff like that? And it's like, I get it, but like wrestling, you need some type of fucking decorum at least, like, so that we can actually enjoy the show. Like, don't get me wrong, like chanting for your favorite wrestler and booing the wrestler you don't like. I'm not putting a gun to anyone's head and saying, look, you should do that. But these kind of fans that are turning around and say, yeah, the "we are awesome" chants, I hate. But see if you're buying a ticket for your sole reason so you can put a video up on YouTube of you chanting something, you're not a real wrestling fan, in my opinion. You're more of a fan of yourself and getting likes rather than rather than actually watching the show. And that to me is a complete disgrace. You got any thoughts on that, WJ?
I agree. Every wrestling fan has a podcast or a Twitter account that they voice their opinion. Yippee. Especially some of these people, they think that their opinion is priceless and that their opinion is important or whatever, let's say. Then they start taking themselves and their retarded opinion that they copy from Meltzer too seriously, let's say.
Yeah, 100%.
Like right now, McMahon let go of a couple people on NXT. Apparently, something came out. McMahon wants to bring back bodybuilders and stuff like this or whatever. And
Get
now
me in there.
So you go on What Culture? I go on What Culture, and it's a big fucking attempt to make NXT sound like it's finished. McMahon's taking over. Listen, guys, maybe it's not your cup of tea anymore, and next time, maybe you can get your fill on the Indies. Them sweet, loving Indies. Give me a fucking break, you fucking big retard. You know what I mean? How much was he paid to fucking come out with this garbage? Are they on the payroll too, these fucking goofs, or what? Over at What Culture, you know what I mean? Meltzer says something, they fucking turn it around them and take it the 10 extra mile to retard deal, let's say. It's fucking so silly, fuck, you know?
Yo, man, that's the best impersonation of what culture I've ever heard. But it's like, oh, mate, I'm all right, mate. How are you, mate? I'm doing all right.
Some big guy with glasses telling the whole story of NXT, the smart version of the history of NXT. Yeah. And then at the end, it's about how it's not the same anymore and you should watch the indies instead. Fuck off, you big idiot. Big fake fuck, you know what I mean? They obviously have an agenda, these fucking goof websites and big YouTube channels. Yeah.
It's like, you know what it is? It's like, you know, whenever you the thing is with what culture is that whenever they started off, they were actually playing WWE clips, and then WWE took it off. And since they did that, then, you know, the whole still image moving thing, what culture have bashed WWE for like ages, because they were praising WWE whenever they first started off. And then
their
when
content originally was fucking made to look like WWE. They were clearly ripped off the imagery and the thumbnails and the way things were written, let's say. So maybe that's why WWE started putting an end to them ripping off the WWE imagery to make money, let's say.
It's like it's an AEW is doing exactly the same thing. Like they're kind of doing that type thing, but it wouldn't surprise me, you know, with WWE. You know, I think WWE should have been a wee bit more open with their content, and I think maybe people could have actually, maybe they would have got more positive with fans if they allowed some type of fucking content. Because what happened was, like, whenever I was starting off, you know, when I was doing the whole solo channel, is that these people were uploading Raw, and like it was like 3 hour Raws and just uploading it, and then it was pushing down the reviews. But then WWE stopped that, but then they took it to the extreme where they were flagging people with even one clip of like their content. So it's, and apparently they're hiring like third-party sites to like flag people down and stuff like that. So it's just it's a bit of a cringe fest. Speaking of kind of cringe, let's talk about this Alexa Bliss Dewdrop. A lot of people weren't kind of happy with it. I personally I actually like Eva Marie because she's a good-looking woman. Apparently, you're not allowed to kind of say that in this day and age. Apparently, WJ and wrestling, you can't actually say that a woman's good-looking. You have to look at their in-ring technique, and like, you know, apparently
so that's what it is. SJW freak motherfuckers trying to run wrestling. Yeah. Like I was reading something about Nick Gage. Okay, like Nick Gage, you know, he goes on AEW. They almost lose Domino's as a sponsorship for TNT Network. And I see somebody in the comments somewhere. Nick Gage did nothing wrong, and he supports trans rights. See, so now they want to push a guy that's fucking a prisoner who loses sponsor. Give him a push because he supports trans rights. Well, you're not supposed to base wrestling off of these things. Yeah. You push a guy that's good to be a wrestler. You don't put a guy on TV, make him lose sponsorship because he likes transgender or whatever, let's say. You gotta think rationally, fuck.
It's like, you know, like somebody says to me, oh, Jerry, like, you know, because if somebody says, like, Jerry, do you hate the gays? I'm like, no fucking way. Like, you know, support them all out there, blah, 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 you know. But that doesn't mean I should be world champion. Like, you know what
exactly,
I mean? Like,
me
it's
too.
common sense.
I don't hate gay people. I'd say people are free to like what they like or whatever, yeah, unless it's illegal, whatever. Yeah, man. You know what I mean?
It's like,
but say, you don't fucking exactly like if somebody has a fucking crush on a wrestler, the guy shouldn't be champ just because you have a sexual fetish for him. Let's say.
Yeah, I think there's kind of like this kind of, and even just the whole pizza cutter thing. It's like how like, and I know for a fact it was deliberate. Like it had to be deliberate, and I think Tony Khan probably said that's really funny. Domino's would love that, but it's like you're seeing someone getting his head cut open with a pizza cutter. Like, in what realm is Domino's gonna like this? You know what I mean? And I think the whole thing was just a massive cringe fest, and I think it probably affected him during the actual, the TV network, because Domino's were like, "Can you not do this?" And that'll be bad in favor of AEW and stuff like that, But this, what's this whole thing with the doll winking at people? Like, what is this?
Well,
Can we just go back?
the doll. Me, I thought it was funny there for some reason this week, but it was Alexa Bliss against Doudrop, and then the camera pans and the doll is in the corner, let's say, attached to like the turnbuckles, I guess, And then a few minutes later, Doudrop stops and stares at the doll. And then the camera turns to the doll, and then the doll winked. The doll does a wink, and then Doudrop was distracted, and Alexa Bliss pinned her for the 1, 2, 3. Let's say, and then Doudrop, she winked at me, and Eva Marie didn't believe her. Let's say, like in the movie, you know what I mean? So me, I thought it was a bit funny. It's not gold material, but like I've been hating on this Lily stuff, but I thought that part made me laugh a bit. Let's say.
I think I'd rather take this than a what you call that the Ripley segment. I'd rather take that than a Rhea Ripley segment, because talking about personalities like a brick wall, like Jesus Christ, like they're gonna have to. And see, whenever they get rid of her or demote her, what do you see people just crying on social media about that? Like, what do you see? They're eventually gonna go for the women's division. That's next.
So may you bring this girl? Oh, it's Piper Niven. She can wrestle. Gee, that doesn't get over. Like, you know what I mean? A big girl. Nobody wants to see a big woman get treated. Say, is it supposed to be Samoa Joe in the X division, a 400-pounder trying to wrestle like a cruiserweight? Let's say, oh, it's Piper. She can wrestle. Nobody gives a fuck. Let's say, nobody's gonna want to see a 300-pound girl, and you gotta act like she's wrestling. She's just like all the other girls. You know what I mean? She's big. You know what I'm saying? She's big. You gotta book it the way it is. At least they're not making her be a big freak like Berta Faye or whatever. Right? They give her a funny name. They're making her do comedy stuff with Eva Marie. It gives her a character, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Like Eva Marie is actually helping out this girl because she's, say, fucking hot as fuck, and she's her manager right now. Let's say this is helping out Doudrop. Let's say it gives her something. Nobody cares about Piper Niven, who appeared in Mae Young tournament or whatever. Say, people want to see a character, entertainment. They want to laugh at stuff. They don't want to fucking see a 400-pound girl. Oh my God, she works just like Kenny Omega. Say, nobody wants this. That's enough
so
with
true,
this fucking stupid fucking garbage. Yeah, like that's That's not what wrestling is. I hope McMahon changes NXT and makes it better, because you look at NXT, it's fucking nothing on there.
It's
When they've
terrible.
brought in a bunch of boring guys from 205 Live and a bunch of boring guys from NXT UK, it's a bunch of fucking boring people, you know. Hopefully they bring new guys like the son of Scott Steiner or Rick Steiner, the nephew of Scott Steiner. They need more guys like this, sons of wrestlers, athletes, bodybuilder. Enough
Bouncers.
with the midgets. Yeah.
Bouncers, like Kevin Nash was a bouncer, and so was Dallas Page. So we need to kind of start going back to Batista. Yeah, we need to start going back to hiring guys like that, I think. And look, we're not saying as well like that everything needs to be jacked up muscle man in order to make a show great. We're not saying that at all. But what we're saying is that yes, you can have like Eddie Guerrero, for example, wasn't a big guy, but was absolutely phenomenal on the mic and great in the ring. Rey Mysterio was another guy who I think is absolutely amazing. Jeff Hardy, he's not that jacked, but he's a great wrestler and stuff like that. So we're not saying it needs to be jacked up men, but what I'm saying is that you're having an oversaturation of men that are over 30, built like a jockey's whip, and are about 100 pounds soaking wet. So what does that tell you? Adam Cole, to me, the fact that he's even still in the company is just beyond me. Adam Cole is not great. I don't hate to burst everyone's bubble. He's not great at all. He's like what is it? Does he still do the super kick, WJ? Is that still a thing now, or like is it?
They all do the fucking super kick, Jerry.
It's like it's so bad, man, and like you know. I'm kind of glad that they need it actually. But what you said about Scott Hall's son, I completely agree. You know, bring in kind of sons of wrestlers, jack, like, you know, I'm not saying that it needs to be all jacked up steroid men, but like just a bit of diversity. Like there's all this talk of diversity in wrestling, but where's the real wrestlers? Like where's the guys that look like real fucking men rather than built like a wet lettuce?
Like Enzo Amore wasn't big, but he can talk, see?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If a guy isn't big, then he has to make up for it by being a good on the mic. But enough with the guys who are tiny, but they make up for it by being good in the ring. We've seen enough of this. It's time to bring in big fucking guys with charisma who aren't good in the ring. Guys that can make us laugh in the ring. Entertainment. You don't need a guy to fucking do a backflip in order to be accepted in wrestling. Bring in a 300-pound guy. If he can only do a fucking a full Nelson, then that's good enough for now. If he can talk, then bring him in. Give him a manager. We need wrestlers again, real wrestlers, not this is wrestling. Say real what wrestlers used to be, men, for God's sake.
Was it Suarez Center wrote there? You know, like Olympic guys as well. Like we could bring in Olympic guys, like Olympic wrestlers. We're just after the Olympics. Bring a bunch of those guys in, like actual real athletes, like not these kind of built like this that do CrossFit. Like, you know, like they need to kind of go back to that because man, like it's not presentable at all. Like at this point in time,
we've seen the same indie match over and over again. They run. It's the non-stop running, the drop kicks, the super kick, the flip, run, dive, flip, run. We've seen enough of this fucking garbage. And NXT, they have that for the matches. It ain't drawing fucking no viewers, NXT. It ain't working enough with this fucking trash. Ring of Honor, this style started out in Ring of Honor, the Daniel Bryan running style. Okay, and Ring of Honor never went anywhere, so why take the style of Ring of Honor, a company that never did fuck all? Like, go back to what worked for 20 years, 30, 40 years. Yeah.
They need to go back to basics a little bit in wrestling. But I was gonna say we've got the next one there, Ricochet versus Sheamus. Obviously, from what I seen there in the clip there, actually a good, decent match. Sheamus has actually been quite consistent in good matches. What do you? I do think Sheamus actually, he's definitely a future Hall of Famer. As much as people might kind of cringe
Multi-time
at
world
that.
champ, yeah.
He's definitely a Hall of Famer. He's definitely, yeah, because he's been with the company so long, and with Sheamus, for example, I just think he's solidified in there. You know what I mean? Like he say what you will about him. Like I think that they kind of gave him the championship way too soon, and that kind of sweat him off a bit. But then I think eventually what they did was they kind of through the mid card built him up. But he's actually a really good, decent mid card matcher.
They fucked him up with the League of Nations there. Remember that shitty group?
Yeah,
then they brought him back, and he had a weird look for some reason.
Yeah.
But now he's back as a singles performer, and it's working. See?
Yeah, because he's doing pretty decent. Like
they gave him this mask gimmick. I thought it was funny. Ricochet knocked out with the mask. It's like an old school gimmick. It's a wrestler as a cast and uses it as a weapon, but it's the mask that's illegal. But apparently it's legal weapon, that kind of routine.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see what happens with this. Maybe they'll just turn him into fucking comedy with this mask routine.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully that they do something better with him.
So John Morrison versus Damien Priest. I'm gonna be straight up honest with you. I don't like Damien Priest. I think he has as much personality as plywood. I'm sorry. I don't know how you feel about that, WJ, but I just don't like him immediately. Like, he's an example of a big guy that is awful. The guy's like, what is he, 44? And like,
he's not young, the guy. I don't know his age, but he's not young.
It's like, what can you really do with him? Because he's kind of another guy that he's not really he's someone that it's weird. Like, do you just stick him in the mid card constantly? And what are you going to do? You put him, I can't see him being a mid eventer, like, at this point. Like, I just can't. Like, I look, I'm sure he's a dead on fella, I'm sure he's a dead on person, but I'm going to be honest with you. I've seen a few things with him. Not a fan. I'm not a fan of him. He just kind of is boring. He's got that Del Rio vibes, when Del Rio's there, but in about 5 years' time, he's going to get released. He gives me those kind of vibes that he's going to be with the company for about 5 years, and then he's going to get released, and then everyone's going to act shocked for whatever.
If he's older, then Mother Nature is going to set in. Let's see.
Yeah, because he's what age now? He's like what? 30?
I don't know his age, but I heard he was in his 40s. I could be wrong. Yeah.
I'll double check his age now, actually, might as well.
Damien Priest looks like Vampiro. A mix of Vampiro and Lenny Kravitz or something.
He's 38.
38.
He
doesn't have that much of a shelf life. 5-7 years. Tall guy like that, they get problems in the legs. See?
Yeah.
He looks like he's in good shape, but he's not like huge. He's just like a tall guy that's muscular, but not like big. You see?
Yeah, kind of like Big Kaz a little bit, but like a bit slightly leaner.
Big Kaz is in great shape now because he got on the juice, obviously.
Yeah. He won't drink and he won't do drugs, but he'll do the right stuff.
Like, think Big Cass without as much muscle. Like, if see,
it's kind of like that a wee bit. He was against John Morrison, and I can't believe they're still doing it. Like, you know what I mean? But to be
like
fair, Morrison's actually been good in the ring.
Sid Vicious was set like 7 feet tall, and he was fucking jacked. You see. Like, that was a big, tall fucking guy, you know what I mean? But he was sloppy in the ring because when they're tall like that, they're not as agile, let's say. But this guy's agile, but he's not huge, let's say. I don't know. Maybe that's what he'll do, win the US a couple times kind of deal. And
we've got T-Bar, Mustafa Ali facing each other. Shite. We'll move on from that, WJ, or you got anything to add to that?
The Mansoor came out to save him, so they're building a tag team, right, with Mansoor and Ali there, which makes sense, I guess.
T-Bar's
perfect for the cruiserweight tag team division.
I agree. Like Nikki Ash versus Rhea Ripley. Crowd don't seem to be care about that too much about Nikki during her entrance, apparently. People were kind of like not booing, but there was no reaction apparently. But what I love about this here Bleacher Report, Ripley was great using her size and power to control the pace. Nikki played the underdog as she always does, which was very simple and effective in-ring storytelling, apparently.
That's when you're going too far with wrestling.
It's like you're kind of like, I mean, it's in the middle of fucking.
That's when you're taking your opinion too seriously. When you're trying to be majestic when you talk about wrestling. What a lovely roll up, Jerry.
It's so true though. Why do all these fucking morons talk like that? What a beautiful kick that was. A sweet kick, as it will. Very good, very majestic, very flamboyant.
They're talking like they're fucking doing commentary for a golf game. Like, get a fucking grip.
I know. We have Nikki Ash on the green. She's going for a super kick. Oh, look at that! Very majestic. That is 5 furlongs away. Very good, and I have an erection. So it's like it's kind of like that. Like I agree. It actually, a lot of these reviewers, because I was watching reviewers actually recently on YouTube, they all talk like golfers, like golf commentators. Like, look at that. Like, they're either screaming with like their veins popping out like this here, WJ, or they talk like golfers. I don't know. It's YWC or whatever it might be called.
Scary.
Main event
Charlotte Flair came out at the end and attacked them both there. So and then she held the title or whatever. So
you think she's gonna win? Do you think?
I don't know.
Big idea. Released like big Ric Flair got released like so. That might have an effect on it, you think?
Maybe she wins to keep her there, some kind of deal.
Tiger Woods with the parlor, John. Oh dear. But yeah, like Randy Orton versus AJ Styles. I mean, Randy Orton obviously. At this point, Randy Orton needs to be fucking champion. Like, at this point, like people are putting him over so much. He's actually really, really fucking good. Like,
he was doing good here.
Like the fact that we have to rely on Randy Orton and John Cena again, like, is just crazy to me. Like, that's how bad it is. And look, and it goes back to what we were saying there, WJ, at the start. Randy Orton, big guy. He's not fat, but he's jacked. He's got good shape. Has a cool finisher. Can talk in the mic. Cool theme song. That's it. Okay. And I know some people seem to like hate on Randy Orton, but let's face the facts. Like Randy Orton is by far right now the only decent wrestler currently now that people are actually cheering for. And whether people like to admit it or not, it's fucking true. Like he's actually a decent performer.
I think he's better now than he's ever been.
Yeah, I do. I actually generally do. And I hate to say this, but he does this all the time where he goes up and down, up and down. But then see when he goes up, right? They don't give him the championship. And then when he goes down, then they give him the championship and he gets slightly better. I think they just need to give the bloody belt to him maybe at this point. But at the same time, I want to see Bobby Lashley versus Lesnar as well at some point for the championship. So
it could happen anyway.
Do you know what I honestly think, WJ? And I'm just going to say it. I think they need to remove the Universal Championship and bring the big gold belt back, WJ. That's what I think. They need to get rid of that Universal Championship. I think ever since they brought that in, and that's when I stopped caring about the title picture. I don't know how you feel about that, but I personally think they need to bring back the WCW belt again.
If there's two belts, it diminishes the importance of one, that's for sure, because it splits it in half, basically, right? So the WWE World title takes a nosedive, especially if you put the Universal on Roman Reigns, right? And then the WWE looks like it's secondary.
Even I don't like the name Universal. I don't like it.
They copied that from the father of what's his name there, Carlito. I think he had the first Universal title, Carlos Colon or whatever.
That's actually a good actual suggestion, actually, Danica. Damn, I need to make a list of my favorite belts from the past. It could be a video idea, WJ, we could do. The best belts maybe at some point, but overall, Raw, I think a lot of people were just complaining about it for the sake of this NXT releases, but I'll be honest with you, I just hope Randy Orton gets rid of Matt Riddle. I'll be honest, I'm not a fan of Matt Riddle. It's just personally for me, I just don't like him. I don't like his bare feet. I think he's terrible in the ring. I think he's kind of awful. Some people like him, which is totally fine. I personally don't like him. I just think he's just kind of weird. And I just can't get over the bare feet, WJ. I can't get over it. I can't get over it, mate. But Randy Orton hit Matt Riddle with an RKO. Is that like a playful RKO, apparently people are saying? Or is that like...
Oh, he gave him an RKO, but then he was smiling, so... So it's going to stretch it till next week for him to officially say yes and then get a big cheer or whatever.
Yeah. Well, that was the main event there. Overall, I think Raw, a lot of people kind of saturated it by saying it was awful, but quite frankly, I don't really particularly care that much, but I'm definitely going to watch SmackDown this week. So I think, WJ, if you're free, we're going to do that on Saturday maybe for SmackDown.
Yes.
Let's get into the main event, WJ. The Buddy Murphy video. Okay,
hey,
so Buddy.
Want to get over on the indies there, bud?
What we're going to do, guys, is react to Buddy Murphy's video. Okay, so we'll give you a little treat because a lot of you seem to like it when me and WJ react to videos. So we're actually going to react to Buddy Murphy's video, and we're going to pause it or whatever it might be. Have you seen it before, WJ?
No.
Right, that's good. I've seen it, but I want to see your actual reaction to it. Okay, right. Let's get into it here. All right. Can you hear that okay, WJ?
I don't hear any volume. Okay, yeah, I do.
All right. Okay. Right. We're gonna react to this, guys. All right. I can't wait to see.
So is this a Tony Khan funded video? Somebody paid to get this made here.
Yeah, I think it's the same guy that did Aleister Black. And I think they just like Buddy Murphy just called Aleister Black and says, "Can I do that as well?" But I don't want to spoil too much of it for you. But we'll get it there.
Aleister
Right.
Black, aka Tony Khan, probably paid.
Probably Tony Khan, Mr. Moneybags Khan, like, right. So let's react to this. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Can I just say it's the worst dressed soldier I've ever seen in my life?
So they got to present WWE as the prison. That's the gist of it. Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah. Pretty
Probably
much.
Khan who paid for this for sure. Make him look like they're very bad. How about they're a prison, Tony? And how they ruin people's lives. Yeah, that's good. So we have a ninja at the front entrance. Yeah. They ran out of security guard. Let's hire Ninja Security Corporation. How about that?
Oh my god, this is ridiculous. Right, if you want me to pause it, by the way, just say stop, by the way, WJ, if you want me to pause it.
Yeah, I'm here for Dr. Williams.
Mr. Is that Ian Cleveland?
Yeah.
Looks like Ian. No one's gonna get that joke, by the way, but yeah, there's a guy we know called Ian Cleveland, and he just looks exactly like him.
Williams is on the way. Please meet him at the gate.
Finally made it in. How's the drive?
You know, for the first time driving cross country, it wasn't that bad. You guys aren't still in lockdown from that incident you were telling me about?
Yeah, there's always something going on around here. And especially with the guy that you've been talking about.
You know his story, but you
a
know...
lot going on in catering with the guy we're talking about. There's always something going on. We always mistreat employees here at the WWE prison. I mean, okay, Tony, we get it there.
Do you know what it is? I've actually seen porn stars act better than this. Like, like, oh guys, what about that last lockdown there? Like, why does the guy look nervous? Like, I know he's supposed to kind of look nervous. But
they're terrible actors. That's why, Jer.
Where the hell do they get these actors from? Like,
I don't know.
Because I drove all the way here. Would I be able to see him?
Man's got work on his mind.
Is this a fucking smart who paid $500 to appear in the promo, or what? The big goof with the glasses. Looks like a typical AEW fan, let's say.
Yeah, he does, doesn't he? He looks like your typical wrestling reviewer. Like, so he does. He looks like, and then this guy here is like it was the whole thing with remember the Aleister Black thing? Did you see the vigilante with Aleister Black? Like that kind of small video? So pretty much to kind of summarize, Aleister Black was in prison and then he killed one of his friends, right? The doctor guy killed one of his friends and then Aleister Black escaped. So that's apparently the story.
So and he's in the same prison, which is symbolic of WWE.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Way. Now, I don't want to raise too many suspicions, so that's why we're going to take this way, because this is just the easiest way, no problems.
Okay.
We're just going to waste 20 seconds of time here doing nothing. while we show the shoes of Buddy Murphy in his hand.
Interested in seeing who or what else is locked up in here. Plus, it'll be nice to get away from the storm.
After you.
What do I do? You keep them outside even when it rains?
Yeah.
That seems a little messed up to me.
There's a lot of things that are pretty messed up.
Yeah.
Oh, God! What you tell me, man? WWE is pretty messed up, I mean. You're telling me.
Showalter sucks. Oh, that's more entertaining than this video. Like, Jesus Christ. And did you see what he says? Why does it even rain inside? It's like, ugh.
You wanted to see him. There he is.
You've kept him locked in here for 8 years?
Why is he dressed like a sailor,
8
for
years.
fuck's sake? Imagine. Is that going to be his new gimmick? The sailor, Buddy Murphy. This is real wrestling.
I never picked up on that. Yeah, this is so bad, man.
And an additional 90 days in lockdown.
90 days? That seems excessive.
Yeah.
Oh!
Jesus Christ. This is so cringe, like.
But apparently this is awesome, according to the smarts. Let's see. Any cheap shot at WWE, they pretend to mark out for. In reality, as you can see, it's fucking talentless garbage. Let's say, like. But they took petty shots at WWE, so this is super awesome. Let's say.
Also, why is it that every single wrestler that goes to AEW wants to be in an asylum? Like, you ever notice? Oh, they're like the Joker. They're crazy. They're deranged. It's Buddy Murphy.
Well, it's just like in the Feds. We would go in. They all had dark, serious character.
Oh my God!
It's
yeah.
like Jim Cornette says. These guys are pretending to be wrestlers, just like the Fed people. Let's say.
Man,
And
it's so
true.
bad.
They all have the same dark gimmick going in.
It's for anyone who doesn't know, me and WJ used to do e-feds. I'm quitting like in the end of August. I'm just helping like 1 or 2 people out, and then I'm gone from e-feds. But anytime I'm in e-feds, right, it's this dark character who's mysterious, who's evil, and it's just the same thing over and over and over again. Like the fact that these wrestlers are copying e-fedders. E-fedders, it just goes to show the level of creativity they have. It's
Yeah, it really is.
Look at all the oil
Murphy
Murphy put on his arm. Yeah, do they have oil in prison? Yeah. Little 5'6" Buddy Murphy want to try to bring out his muscles, yeah, with oil. He wants to compensate for his midget height or what, dear? Over here in the prison, we got lots of oil.
Bathe me. Bathe me.
That's the fry oil he used when he was cooking the catering for 2 years. Yeah. He was cooking for them backstage. How about that?
He dressed up as the sailor. The sailor cooked WJ. The sailor cooked Buddy
Maybe
Murphy.
he's dressed like a chef, but he doesn't have the chef hat on, too, Jer. He's going to go cook the new catering in the AEW. Yeah. They use vegetable oil here in the real wrestling companies.
Holy shit, man.
You know, we keep a lot of guys here, including the devil himself. But this guy, he's the worst of the worst.
Is that why you keep him away from everybody else?
Yeah, there have been a few incidents, altercations.
This is looking exactly like every E-Fed me and you have been in.
So he's
I'm
gonna
not even
come in and
joking.
he's gonna be the next Neville or what? Yeah. I'm the bastard and he's the worst. It's me, the worst, Buddy Murphy. Stay away from me. I'm a dangerous feller.
I'm a bad boy. Bad boy, I want it. This is
He's
so
the
bad.
worst. Okay, fuck.
The worst.
The
That's such a
midget. To see.
He doesn't really play well with others.
like every single other character, he doesn't very well play with others.
He can't hear us, can he?
You know,
This Godzilla they're ripping off. Yeah, it looks like they're ripping off Godzilla movie with this. Yeah.
The absolute worst.
It's me.
The absolute worst.
I used to be an irrelevant guy. Now I'm here. Just like all the other irrelevant short guys with beards in AEW, I can wrestle. Just like everybody else. What's the difference between me and Neville? There's none. Neville's even better than I am.
What the fuck?
At least Neville can talk. Like,
oh dear.
to come out here, you drove all the way down, but how much longer do you need?
Yeah, you're right. I did drive all this way, but wasn't just here to see him. I'm here to release him.
You're here for what?
Why does this sound like, you know, the thing, you know, the music in the background, you know, for like little kiddies' Halloween shows?
you're going to release him, which doesn't really make sense. Okay. Dun, 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 dun. They paid somebody $25 to do the music with a keyboard. That's exactly it.
That's probably what it is. Fucking absolute fucking mongoloids, a lot of them. Like, it's a good one. Public domain scary music.
He's supposed to be in the prison. There's a staircase in the back. It just looks like they're in like a fucking, like a warehouse or something.
Yeah, it's probably where Tony Khan's all his merchandise are getting rats and stuff like that, probably.
There's a ninja again.
It's a ninja.
Look at my oily arms.
This is so bad, man. What is this? What is this here?
He's hitting his back on the wall. This shows he's intimidating. Michael Brandamarty, whatever. Is that a prison or a mental hospital? Huh? I'm back. That's how he's acting. Then he's gonna run outside. And then it's going to be Cody Rhodes and the getaway car. Like, come on in. Are you a second generation wrestler? I want to have a competitive match. As the car's driving away there. Fuck.
Fucking, you know, wacky races. They just reinvent wacky races. Oh, fucking hell. So, WJ, not a fan of Buddy Murphy's new gimmick then, are you now?
Like another dark character. Was he going to come out dressed as the prisoner to wrestle? Or he's just going to be another midget coming out, probably face paint on him too? Yep, he's going to be dressed in black, and he's going to have the same match that you're going to see 5 times on the same show. So,
Jesus. Well, WJ, we've hit that magic number there, the 1 hour mark there, but it's currently midnight here, so I'm going to have to head to bed here, as to say, get some shut-eye there. But before we go there, WJ's channel...
Nelson, how many characters does Mr. Murphy have? He has 0 character, none.
He's just it's so bad, man. It really is. Like, I wanted to show you that because that's kind of we might play Aleister Black's one, by the way, next maybe on Friday or something. We might do that if they release any other of these visual, what do they call it, vignettes. We might try and kind of react to them a wee bit. But here, guys, WJ's channel is linked in the description below. Make sure to subscribe to him. The man's a legend there. He's doing great stuff. His videos are doing amazing. And definitely subscribe to him. Let's see if we can get up to 500 there, people. 500 within the next week there. So WJ definitely deserves those subscribers, guys. And you can subscribe to me if you want. Subscribe to WJ. And but yeah, we'll be back on Friday, I think, WJ, maybe, or probably
something
Friday.
Like
or
that, yeah, sounds good.
If you want to check out when me and WJ go live, check out the community tab on my YouTube channel and check out Wrestling Gods there. Wrestling Gods on Facebook. I'll put a link in the description below for that as well. So you go to Facebook, type in Wrestling Gods, and just go on there, and then you can actually find out when we go live right away there, folks. But thank you guys, everybody, for watching. Much appreciated. Maybe on Friday I can actually stay on here a wee bit longer, but unfortunately it is like during the week. But WJ, you want to sign us out there?
Until next time, peace out.